Hi everyone, welcome to my show today. Got a great one planned for you. I'm doing America's favorite snack time, which is chocolate chip cookie dough. But we're gonna do an eggless version of it so it is safe to eat. We're gonna do mini chocolate chip cookie dough cake pops. We're gonna be dipping them in almond bark, laying them on our platter, and sprinkling them with crushed miniature chocolate chip cookies. Perfect for Valentine's Day coming up. Men, women, children, everybody can do this recipe, getting us prepared for treating those that we love in our lives. Coming up soon is going to be an episode of dipped chocolate covered strawberries. So that's always gonna be a fan favorite. And men, that one is gonna be for you. I know that you can dip strawberries for your sweetheart. So let's get started. What we need today in the kitchen to make these is we have our basic recipe, and we're going to need miniature chocolate chips, brown sugar, white sugar, vanilla. We're going to need a dash of heavy cream. We need some flour, and the star of the show is going to be our miniature chocolate chips. Again, everything is from Aldi. When we start dipping our chocolate chip cookie dough, we're going to need almond bark. I have just chocolate almond bark. If you like white chocolate, you can use that. And we need our cake pop sticks. So I have some of these available, and miniature or our chocolate chip cookies that we're gonna crumble and put on top. We're gonna be doing our cake pop side down so that we can display them on our platter. You could always do cake pop side up, but then you have to have a stand for them. We're just gonna make it easy and do it this way. So come on in, let's get started. Don't forget your 1 stick of softened butter that actually goes in first into our mixing bowl. So we need 1 stick of butter, we need a 1/4 cup of white sugar. Level that baby off. We need 1/2 cup of brown sugar, packed brown sugar. We're just gonna be creaming these together. A great tip when you are baking is you really wanna cream slowly and take your time, but you wanna cream your sugars and your butter until they are light and fluffy before you move on to any other steps. So we're just gonna get started with that first. All right, everything is incorporated. Our sugars and butter are fully creamed. We are now going to be adding in our splash of vanilla. It's 1 teaspoon. Give that a little spin. How many times do you lick the batter of chocolate chip cookies knowing that you probably shouldn't because there's an egg in it? This recipe, no egg. So don't be looking for an egg, it's not here. We are going to now do 1 1/3 cups of flour, 1/2. You need to know math when you're baking. I always tell my students, just know basic math. So 1/2 and 1/2 makes 1 cup. And we need 1/3 more of that. No leavening agent. We don't need any baking soda or baking powder. Now we need to add in 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. 1, 2, 3. If I need more, I will add more. We're gonna gently mix this. We need a little bit more heavy cream. We're gonna add that at this time. If we need to add more, we certainly can. Okay, everything is done. We are gonna be folding in our chocolate chips now. We're gonna try to get all of this batter out of our spatula here, get all this yummy dough off. I measured 2/3 of a cup of miniature chocolate chips. You wanna make sure that you are using miniature chocolate chips and not large ones, because the stick, the cake pop stick, will not go through. It'll make it more messy. So this looks good. I'm gonna roll out probably 24 balls. I will get cake pop balls, and then we'll be ready to dip. All right, here we go. I got my scoop right here. We're gonna put these on our platter, and then we're gonna roll these. All right, I yielded about 1.5 dozen, and I'm just gonna roll these into uniform balls, just like so. What helps me when I'm dipping cake pops, and I dip a lot of cake pops. The last ones I just did were for a birthday party, and I did chocolate, fresh scratch chocolate cake mixed with my vanilla bean buttercream. I rolled them into balls just like this. Then I dipped them into that chocolate right there, the almond bark. But what was fun about those cake pops is that I did crushed Oreos on top for a garnish. Today, because we're doing chocolate chip cake pops, chocolate chip cookie dough cake pops, I have some cookies that we're gonna crunch up, some chocolate chip cookies, and that will be our garnish on top of our pops today. So once you get these, once you get these rolled up, put them in the refrigerator or the freezer just for about 10 minutes. You don't want them to be too soft when you're dipping. They might fall off the stick. I have a lot of customers who say that they try to make these at home, but they have trouble because the cake pops will fall off the stick, or the cake balls will. If you will just freeze them first, you don't want them completely frozen. You don't want condensation. But if you can just chill them before you dip, it'll be a lot easier. All right, our cake pops are flash freezing in the freezer just for about 5 or 10 minutes just to firm them up. While that is going on, we're going to be crushing our chocolate chip cookies. Get your aggression out. All right, there we go. We now need our almond bark. And when I am doing a dozen cake pops, I take out 4 of these bars. But we're doing a dozen and a half. So I'll take out 5. And I do these in 1 minute increments. So we'll do 1 minute, we'll stir it around, then we'll do 30 seconds, stir it around. You don't want your chocolate to be boiling hot. All right, this is the 1 minute mark. And if you burn your chocolate, say goodbye to it, put it up. This was at 1 minute. I'm just gonna get this going and then we'll put it back in for 30 more seconds. If you know that you have a high-speed microwave and you're prone to burn chocolate, I would just do 30-second increments because honestly, if you do burn your chocolate, you have to throw it out. All right, 30 more seconds. This just came out of the microwave. We're gonna continue to stir until it is smooth, smooth, smooth. Our cake pops have come out of the freezer. You don't want them chilling too long because if they're completely frozen, you will get condensation on the cake ball, the cake pop itself, and your chocolate might crack. And there's nothing more aggravating as a baker. I remember I had this huge order of cake pops going out and I had chilled my cake balls too long. And when I dipped them, the hot and the cold made my chocolate crack. And you don't want to serve a cracked cake pop. It just doesn't look professional. So we're just getting our chocolate where we want it, smooth, smooth, smooth with no lumps. All right, looks good. Now we're ready to dip. So what I do first, I have my cake sticks right here. Got everything I need. I have my pretty platter, my crushed cookies. I like to dip first. Then you take your cake ball, and you try to put it on the top, the round end, so that it could lay flat on the end that was sitting in the pan. All right, we're gonna tap this. Get all that extra chocolate off, smooth it out, put it down, put a little bit of our crushed topping on top. Okay, go to the next one. Flat side down. So put your stick on the other end. Get all that excess chocolate off. Here we go. I'm actually gonna do this over here this time. There you go. Cake Pops 101. If you find that your cake balls are falling off your stick, they are not hard enough, you're gonna wanna put them back in. I know I've read a lot of blogs about cake pops and customers. People are always complaining when they try to make them that they're sliding off the stick. Well, that means that they need to be a little bit colder. And this is what you will get. When you are all done, you need to find the prettiest platter that you have to serve them. Again, these are cake pops, pop side down, so your stick is sticking up. This is very easy if you want to serve them on a platter. If you wanted to serve them this way, where that's exposed, or really more like that, obviously it wouldn't look like that. It would be on the rounded end, and that side would be the bottom, but you would have to have a cake stand for them. I find that this way is much easier, and when customers don't request either way, I choose cake pop side down. All right, chocolate chip cookie dough cake pops going in for the count. Yummy. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to be with me. If you are as busy as I am, I get it, and I really appreciate you showing me some love. So these cake pops, how simple were they? I would love to see you all add these to your Valentine's Day spread coming up soon. Men, you can do this too. Children, they can do it too. We'll be doing chocolate dip covered strawberries soon for our Valentine's Day feature. And you can find me on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter. I'm branching out. I'm going to be out there for you all to show you some great videos of things to do. You can always order from me as well. God bless you, and thank you again.